In this video, I'm going to tell you 15 ways that will help you take confident decisions today. Welcome back to Let's See, and those of you who are new, welcome. I'm Anamika, and this is a channel, a community for you and I to talk about things that no one talks about. It's time we take our mental health in our own hands. It's time that we heal. I heal you, you heal me. Together, we heal the world. Let's heal. So, without further ado, let me get straight into today's topic, which is how to take confident decisions. Taking decisions for all of us can be a nightmare, especially if you're someone who's struggling with anxiety, paranoia, even depression for that matter, because it sort of makes your mind imbalanced in a way to think clearly, to think level-headedly and rationally, because you're always guilt-stricken or underconfident and confused most of the times. Trust me, I know that feeling. I've had it since I was a kid. Ranging from what pen to use, to what dress to wear, to what to eat for lunch, to which career option should I take, to which boy should I date, to which party should I go to or not. Any and every goddamn decision that was either life-altering or just basic, I suffered. The problem of choice, as it's stated in economics, problem arises when there's a choice. And every time there was a choice, my feet went cold and I was fidgeting and, my head started pounding like I'm getting a heart attack, and all of those symptoms that you get in anxiety, I have them when I make decisions. I still have them. Disclaimer, it's not gone, but I'm getting better at it because I devised ways to make decision making easier and happier and productive and healthy for myself. And today I'm going to share some of those ways with you, and I hope that they help you like they helped me. So let's get started. Number 1, write pros and cons. Every time in life, when you have a decision, a choice to make, when you have 2, 3, 4, 5 roads and you have to choose one of them, there are always two sides to those roads. The pros and the cons, the good and the bad, the benefits and the disadvantages. And when we write down these pros and cons, when we weigh them down, when we think about them rationally, taking the decision becomes a whole lot easier because you have something physical to look to and analyze whether taking this option is going to be beneficial to you or the opposite. So this step is pretty self-explanatory, but we often tend to miss it. And I know it sounds a bit lame to actually write down the pros and cons, but trust me, it helps. It really does. So do that. Number 2, listen to your gut feeling. Now, I can already sense some eyes being rolled out there after listening to this point. Well, again, I know this sounds a bit corny or cheesy or cliche, and maybe it is, but again, it's true. It really is true. You have to listen to your gut feeling because most often than not, it is right. Your body and your mind and your soul and your vibrations have a sense of telling you what's right or wrong for you right ahead. It's only that we're not in practice to listen to that feeling, to that voice, because we're not in sync with our inner self, with our higher self, that we tend to forget it. And if you think and observe your life until now, you'll realize that that gut feeling has more than often come out to be true. It has come out to be correct. So it's generally a good thing to listen to your gut feeling, and it works both ways because A, it's gently correct. So if you listen to it, it'll be beneficial for you. And B, in case it's not correct, in case the decision you took didn't turn out to be in your favor, you'll at least be glad that you listened to yourself, that you didn't talk yourself out of it, or you didn't overthink and messed it up further. And it's a lot of hit and trial, but it works in the long run. So yeah. Number 3, analyze your decision. Now this sort of goes in extension to listening to your gut feeling and writing down the pros and cons. After you've written down the pros and cons and you know what you want in your heart, it's time to analyze. It's time to think rationally. It's time to put 2 and 2 together and just map out a way. Think ahead of maybe a few years or months or days down the line, depending on your decision, and think how it would turn out in your recent future. Like maybe if I have to pick a destination to travel, so I'll analyze the decision I've made after writing the pros and cons and listening to what I want to do. Then based on more practical and rational and doable factors like the weather, the accommodation, the transport, the food facilities, and etc., etc. of the place, and then I'll make the decision. And that's called analyzing your decision. Number 4, don't overanalyze. Again, this may sound like a paradox, but it's not. It's important to analyze your decisions, but once you've done that, it's important to let that be. Problem arises in decision making when we tend to overanalyze our decision, when we become almost obsessive about it. We overthink, we overanalyze, we go over the same topic and the same issue in hand again and again, and then we ruin it. We ruin everything. And if you do this, you'll ruin the first 3 steps, writing the pros and cons, listening to your gut feeling, analyzing your decision. All goes down the trash if you start overanalyzing, overthinking, overstressing. It's not good for your mental health, it's not good for your decision making. So just stop, deep breathe, and have faith in yourself. Number 5, do not compare your situation to other people's situations. Now, what does it even mean to not compare a situation to other people's situations? We're humans, right? That's how we're programmed, to compare and compare and compare up to a point of madness when we feel shit about ourselves. That's how we live, right? And that's what we have to repattern and rewire. You see, when we compare our situations to other people's situations, not only are we being stupid, but we're being really impractical. Because whatever situation someone else is in is a different ball game altogether. It's their journey, their life, their personality. You have no idea about what they are going through, even if on a surface it feels like you do. You don't, just like they don't have any idea about what you are going through. It's like comparing sun and the moon, because we're all different. We're all a set of different circumstances, background and environment and genes, and none of our situations can ever result out in the same outcome. They can be similar, but they cannot be same. Yes, you can seek inspiration and learn a few lessons from other people's experience, but at the end of the day, you have got to live your life and you have got to make your own decisions. So instead of looking outside, look within. That's where the answers lie. 6, don't second guess yourself. Again, this is a pattern that we're all prone to. We're all victims of second guessing ourselves because we lack self-confidence, self-worth, self-respect, self-love, and it all stems out from a really low self-esteem. Now, the reasons that we feel that way can be different from everybody, and again, anxiety and depression being one of them. When you don't feel good about yourself, when you don't see yourself in a positive light, you often tend to doubt anything and everything that you think or believe, and that becomes a primary factor, which sort of ruins decision making for you. That's how it always went with me, and it still goes a lot of times. When I know that something is right, it's right there in front of me, I know how to do this, I know that what I think or believe is true, but I feel that no, I'm thinking it, so it's got to be wrong. I second guess myself and I ruin it. And it's only once I started having confidence and faith in my own decisions and my own self did I realize how wrong I was. I just have to believe in myself and then have faith in what I think and just let that ship sail. And once I did it, trust me, my life bettered for the better, if that makes sense. Number 7, ask questions. Now that's something we have been taught since we were kids. Ask questions. Every time in school our teachers told us, ask questions. Ask me the same thing 100 times and I'll explain it to you every single time. Now of course that wasn't the case. If you even asked her twice, she'd be mad at you. Like, I just explained it to you, why are you asking me again, blah blah blah. And that created a pattern of us not asking, because you're always given the impression of don't ask, just do, just live, just be blind. And that's what we have to repattern and rewire. You have to ask questions, you have to explore, you have to be out there, put yourself out there and analyze. Again, asking and analyzing go hand in hand. You cannot properly analyze until you properly ask, and until you properly ask, you cannot make a proper good decision. So in order for you to make healthy, productive and sound decisions, you have to ask. So ask. Number 8, don't over ask. While it's important to ask questions, it's important to not let it become an obsession, something you can't control. Because if you keep asking and asking and asking and not coming to a conclusion, to a solution, you will never be able to make an answer. Again, this coincides to analyze, but don't overanalyze. Same way, ask, but don't over ask. Ask the questions that you think are extremely, supremely necessary for you to make that decision. Have the answers and then let it be. Let go. Which brings me to my next point. Number 9. Let go. Letting go is one of the most important parts of healing, of living, of being a sound individual. You have to learn when to cut the cords. You have to learn when to close the chapter. You have to learn when to let go. You had a choice. You made a decision. You did everything in your power to make sure that your decision is right. And now it's done. And no matter what you did, it's gone. And that's the time for you to let it go. If you think your decision was right, fine. If you think your decision was wrong, fine as well, because there's nothing you can do to change it. Whatever outcome that decision will bring, you'll see that in the near future. So just let go and be prepared for whatever life offers you, because there aren't really any good or bad or right or wrong decisions. It's all a part of living. It's all experience. You learn from it or you cherish it. And that's just about it. So there's no point obsessing over it. You have done what you wanted to do, or you have done what you had to do. And now you're letting it go. You're setting yourself free. Number 10. Embrace the outcome. Once you've made the decision and you've let it go, it's time for the outcome. I know the feeling. Just a day before the result, when you feel anxious and even depressed if you haven't done well, and you go crazy obsessing over the result. I know, I agree, it's maybe inevitable for a lot of us. But once the outcome is out there, all we can do is accept and embrace it. If it works in our favor, great, we'll be happy about it. But in case if it doesn't work in our favor, there's no need to whine over it or regret it or be in guilt and all of those ugly, bad, negative emotions that we tend to overthink and overwork ourselves over. Now I know that those emotions are real, they're human, you'll feel them. I'm not asking you not to feel them. Have them, it's only natural. I'm just asking you to not let them stay. If the decision you made didn't turn out to be in your favor and you're feeling all of these bad emotions, feel them, let them stay, and then let them go. And how you'll do it is by embracing the outcome. Whatever happened, happened. You've embraced the outcome. If it's good, you've embraced the good part of it. If it's bad, you've embraced the lessons, you've learned your mistakes, and you've set it free. And that helps you in your decision making in the future, because you know how you'll deal with the trauma of the wrong choice, or whatever you may want to call it. You'll be prepared for the next time, and that will strengthen your decision making in future. So embrace it. Number 11. Meditate on it. Right. After you've taken the decision, let go, embraced, there's still a part of you which is human enough to still obsess over it. There's still a part of you which feels bad about it, or there's still a part of you which feels happy and great about it because the decision was amazing. Whatever it is, all of these overwhelming emotions you're dealing with, the best way to let them in or let them out or to understand them is to write about them. It's a meditation of its own, Sit back, relax, look into yourself, think about it, and then write about it, meditate on it. That'll help you understand how things unfolded, that'll help you understand the entire process, and that'll again help you in strengthening this process in the future. So write about it. Number 12. Don't seek outside validation. It's so common for us these days to seek validation, not from ourselves, but from those around us. Social media, everybody's achievements being thrown in our faces all the time, low self-esteem, bad mental health, screwed up relationships and whatnot. All of these things clubbed together highlight our so-called failures in life so much more that we need to feel the validation, the approval from others in order to not feel like a failure ourselves. Our personal achievements, our success, our high points are not enough for us. We need a validation from the other source, from those around us. And that translates into decision making as well. All the decisions that we have taken for our personal lives, for our love lives, for our careers, XYZ, you name it. And you need a validation from others around you. Even if that decision has come to be in your favor, or if it hasn't come to be in your favor, you always seek an outside validation. You ask other people, you ask too much, too many opinions, too many confusion that you have invited, and we somehow trust those voices more than our own, even though we know that for the most part we know what's best for us. For the most part, we know what we want. We know ourselves better than other people know us. Now, sometimes it's not true, and it's important to ask the opinion of those who matter to you. But it's not a good idea to make, an exhibition out of it. To just let any and every Tom, Dick, and Harry into your life, asking for their validation, asking for their approval, and then sabotaging everything that you've built. That's self-harming in a non-physical way. Don't do it. Number 14. Make peace. Again, it works on similar lines of letting go, embracing the outcome, meditating on it. The final step in closing the chapter of whatever decision you took and however the process went by is to make peace with it. If it was a good decision, if it was a fruitful decision, if it worked in your favor, great. Now you felt happy about it, you've given yourself the reward, and you're done enjoying it, celebrating it. It's time for you to make peace, learn from it, and let it go. Make peace and move forward to another decision, to another process. It's healthy. And again, if the decision that you took wasn't fruitful, it wasn't something that turned out to be in your favor, it didn't work out for you, make peace even more. Because again, if you start obsessing over it and you just stay stuck in it, it's not healthy, it's not helping anyone, and it's making you stay stuck. That's how you stay stuck in the past, because you keep overanalyzing, overthinking, overjudging, and then the next time that you have to take a decision, you're not confident enough to do it because you're thinking about your past mistakes. That's what you have to learn to let go, to detach yourself from. Keep the lessons with you, but let go of the mistakes. Make peace with what happened, because you can't change the past no matter what. So let's just use that to change the present and the future by making peace and letting go and just being. Number 14, another very important step in decision making and in life and in healing is to relax. Find your chill zone. You have overworked yourself all this while, taking all these steps towards a healthy and happy and better decision making, a confident decision making. It's okay, it's good, it was needed. But now you have done all that was there in your power, and it's time for you to relax and let go and chill. Find your chill zone. It's important to relax even while you're taking those steps, because at the end of the day, if you are not fine, if you're not happy, if you're not stable, if you're not healthy, and if you're not enjoying, what is even the point of any of this? So pursue a hobby, distract yourself with, a movie, a TV show, a song, art, whatever it is that makes you happy, whatever it is that makes you feel at peace, and do that from time to time, because I know decision making can be exhausting, and it's important for you to find that window where you can just be despite the mental cobwebs and those spirals, and it's important for you to relax even after all this is done. So yeah, chill, relax, have fun. Finally, number 15, repeat the process until it normalizes itself. You have spent your entire life in torturing yourself when it comes to decision making. You've been anxious and guilty and confused and depressed and overwhelmed and whatnot when it came to making a choice, right from what meal to eat, to what career to choose, to what person to marry. I don't know. It could be as basic or as life-altering as it can be, and it hasn't been easy for you. This is your chance to rewire that pattern, that mindset, that habitual thinking. And I know it won't come in one go. I know it'll take you a lot of attempts over and over and over to master it. I know it because I'm sailing in the same boat. I'm still not a champion at decision making, but I can tell you that I'm better than where I was yesterday. And that's all that matters today. So take all these steps, make happy and healthy decisions for yourselves, and then keep repeating the process until it becomes a norm, until it normalizes itself, until it doesn't seem like work. And trust me, it will normalize itself. Trust me, and it'll heal. You just have to give yourself the chance of being your best decision maker. Because guess what? You are. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with your friends and the people who you think can benefit from it. Let me know in the comment section below what are your ways to take healthy and confident decisions and how these steps helped you in taking them. And subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on further videos. I heal you, you heal me. Together, we heal the world. Let's see.